Hello YouTube, and thank you for clicking on this very educational video on teen dating presented by Butterflies by Grace, Defined by Faith. At the conclusion of this video, I will ask a quiz question based on what I said in the Teen Summit, so watch to the end for your chance to win a Cash App giveaway. See you at the end. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to be real quick. I lay out ready to get out of this. I can see in the PowerPoint. My name is Chad Jones, and parents I might have to excuse me, just have to excuse me. But whenever I'm talking to youth, I like to be transparent and vulnerable, because I found that a lot of times when you kind of show them that, your views are just like them, and you think just like them, they tend to be a little bit more receptive. So I'm the oldest of 3 boys. I grew up with disabled mom. My mom suffered from seizure disorder. It wasn't a father in the household, but growing up, I battled a lot of angry emotions. And in the process of that, I made a lot of mistakes. And so I don't want y'all to think that I'm up here talking to y'all as somebody that has made mistakes or perfect or anything like this. My topic is gun violence, and I was going to talk about it in general, but I'm going to try to kind of relate it to teen dating. The first thing I have, of course, is that point blank period, teens shouldn't have guns. However, I'm a realist, and so I know that in today's time, they're very accessible. A gun is pretty much just as easy to get as a Snicker bar. And so I can't tell y'all to stay away from them or not have them. Well, I can say not have them, but I can't tell y'all necessarily stay away from them because they're everywhere. They're so prevalent in today's time. So the subject that I'm going to speak on is kind of how to conduct yourself and how to handle certain things that you might occur. First and foremost, I'll talk to the teen males first, and then I'll conclude with the teen females. To the fellas, the teen males, my biggest advice is to be yourself. Growing up, I was always myself, whether that was in my community or whether that was in school. I was always myself, and I gained a lot of respect by doing that and being myself, no matter what the setting is. And a lot of times, like the other speakers have mentioned, whether it's music, whether it's movies, whether it's the school environment, whether it's in the community, you oftentimes see these images of people with a gun, quote-unquote thugging, or however y'all want to term it, but they don't show y'all the other side of it. The other side of it is for the young teenage males in here who may know other males or know people involved in their lives. They don't tell you about the stress that they endure. They don't tell you about living life looking over their shoulder. They don't tell you about the fear that they have of retaliation on their family. They don't tell you about the night that they can't sleep because they're scared, wondering what's happening. I'm here to tell you all that's a very real aspect of gun violence. Of course, when they're around you, when they're around your peers, they're going to put on this image like, I'm this, I'm that. They're not going to tell you that. I'm here to tell y'all this. So don't get confused like they said about what society is putting out, because it's a very, very dark truth to that. And oftentimes, like I say, they don't publicize that part of it. You have to put pride and ego to the side. As I mentioned, be yourself. Honestly, I'm the type, growing up, I probably had a bunch of friends. I'm 31. I got 1 or 2 friends. They hold me accountable and vice versa. They don't let me get out here and do something that they know is not of my character. That's a true friend, somebody who's going to hold you to a certain standard. And so be yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Put away pride and ego. One thing my mom taught me growing up is know how to walk away. Know how to walk away. And some of the most closest people that I've been to growing up, if it was a situation or I went south, I didn't like how it was going, I'll walk away. I literally got out the car and said, no, I'll walk on it. And I don't care what you say about it. Because 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, when you stand up for yourself and you walk away, the masses, the public, you this, you this, you this, you that. But I guarantee you, they might not say it all the time, but they respect you. Because you made a decision they weren't brave enough to make. I promise you. I've in so many situations I walked away from, and then, whether it's colleges or whatever the case may be, I don't care nothing about it, but those people that come back and say, I respect you. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be in this situation. You was brave enough to walk away. I'm not going to let nobody crash me out. Nobody. And I'm telling y'all young males, females too, the same thing. Have a mind of your own. Put pride, put ego, all that to the side. Have a mind of your own. I'll talk to the young ladies real quick. When I was an undergrad in the Greek mythology course, there was a story that we studied one time about Lisa Strada. And some of the youth might not know about her, but if you've seen the movie Chirac, the theme of that movie is kind of based off this Greek mythology story. And basically, in that story, it was all these men and different entities at war. And the women got tired of it because the men were never home, they was at war. And so they made a collective decision to reserve themselves until the men met their requirements. I said all that to say, young ladies, y'all are powerful. Y'all are very, very powerful. The speakers mentioned it, but y'all are powerful. And a lot of times males make it seem like, oh, what's the family saying? He gonna cry in the car. So that's facts. He'll put out the image, or males will put out the image like they not thinking about a woman, abusing them, whatever the case may be, but y'all hold so much power. And I want y'all to remember that. And in saying that, if you have ladies, if you have a young guy that you like or dating, young men, if you have a young lady that you're dating or you like, hold them to a standard. If you see that significant other involve themselves with gun violence, if you really care about them, you're going to tell them that's not right. You know, and so, and then outside of that, if you care about yourself enough, you're not going to want to be around it. And then the true friends, like I say, if you speak on that or you tell them that, look, that's not true, that's not what we do, a true friend will show their colors. They'll say, I respect it. And if you have a troublesome trying to figure out if the people around you are truly your friends, try that. Just try it. Say, I ain't with that, whatever the case may be. And one or two things, they'll talk about it is what it is, or they're going to respect it. And so a person that respects it, that's your true friend. I kind of got a lot of different little subjects, but I'm just going to pretty much sum it up in a nutshell. You shouldn't have guns. They're very dangerous, especially, you know, as adolescents, you shouldn't have guns, but they're very accessible. So with that being said, have a mind of your own. If y'all don't remember nothing else I say, take this away. Have a mind of your own at all times. Don't be afraid to walk away. If it's somebody in your inner circle, whether that's peers, and a lot of times, teens and adolescents, they'll see gun violence in the house. I've seen situations where I've looked and been like, what are the parents on? What are the adults on? And when I see it, I can't necessarily say nothing about their kids, because this is what they're surrounded with. This is what they see in their own household. That's a very difficult, tricky situation, but it still falls back to have a mind of your own. You know, even in your house, you can get away. You can go to your room. You know, so have a mind of your own. Know how to walk away. Ladies, understand your power. If you truly care about that young male and he's taking a role he shouldn't take, encourage him, uplift him. Because I don't feel as if whether it's teen dating, it's adult dating. I don't feel any relationship should be stagnant. If both parties aren't growing, what y'all doing? You know, even in high school, You know, if you don't feel like this man or this lady is making me a better person, teaching me something, they're helping me to grow, just wasting time. You're pretty much just wasting time.
Right.
So, but if you have somebody that you feel like cares about you, then they'll be willing to listen to you. And so knowing that you have that power, if you know males that may be making bad choices, talk to them. To the males, if you know ladies who might be, wandering off to a wrong path, express that to them. Hold each other to those standards and hold each other accountable. I'm going to get y'all out of here. I will say this, don't be afraid to, if you feel like you need to reach out or you see something or you feel like you're being kind of pressured into a situation, don't be afraid to reach out. We have, us as adults and us as people working with kids, we have to let them know not only can they come to us, but they can be anonymous. I know a lot of times it's the stigma where if I do stand up for myself, if I do say no, then I'm labeled this the next day at school. I'm labeled this or that. You got to get out of that. Because whether you make it all A's or whether you, whatever, people going to talk about it. So you have to kind of break yourself away from this. So if you see it, get away from it. If you're in a situation you can't get away from it, then I'm here to tell you how to handle it. And that just comes with having a mind of your own and knowing how to walk away. And I think the biggest thing I can say to someone, what everybody said, love yourself, put yourself first, know your worth. Always be working to progress. Every day is an opportunity to progress. And so like I said, if you have friends, if you have significant others that's involved in gun violence or anything else that's detrimental to where you're trying to go in life, get away from it. I promise you, you're going to wake up and people are going to still be there tomorrow. And they're going to have a totally different level of respect for you because they see that you're standing 10 toes on what you want out of life. You're not budging. You're not conforming just because that's what everybody else doing. Because I'll say this, yeah, our movies, music, all this stuff is portraying these images. People at school, peer pressure, whatever the case may be. But hypothetically, what if you all woke up tomorrow and everybody is, the new trend is going out in your underwear? Y'all mean to tell me y'all gonna do that? So to a certain extent, I know there's a very base core of it. Everybody has a mind of their own. You see your friends, they walk out in the street in front of the traffic, you're not gonna do it. So it's the same as for a ride with it. Knowing, sometimes you have that feeling. You can feel it. When you know, no, because you're not gonna follow them out into the street, you're not gonna follow them out on the cliff. It's the same thing. And a lot of times, people will be scared to say no. I'm just here to tell y'all, if you love yourself enough, stick to it and say no. Walk away. And just always replay in your mind where you're trying to go. And I can't really top anything else that anybody else has said. That's just a conclusion in a nutshell. Just love yourself. So just love yourself. Right. I thank you all for watching this video in its entirety. In my speech, I mentioned that as an undergraduate, I took a Greek mythology course. What was the female Greek character that I mentioned? What is a popular movie that was inspired by this Greek story? Or what did the female Greek character do? As always, thank you for your support and thank you for viewing.